We've got a beautiful guitar today to look at and fix. This is a Les Paul Epiphone, but it is a beauty, a stunning one. It's just absolutely in immaculate condition. And the owner put on some new pickups, but he had some problems with the wiring on it. So he's asked me to go in and check to see what's going on with this wiring, which is each pickup manufacturer has their own wiring diagram, which is not open to the public on these particular, I understand. But you have to actually get their information from the seller. So I'm going to take a quick look at this and try to figure out what's going on. But right at the moment, what's very obvious is we have some problems here. So this is both pickups. This should be the bridge pickup. Notice how much bass there is in that, how fat that tone is. This should be the neck pickup. So basically they're opposite. That's not a big fix. That's just switching the three-way around. But there's something else going on that I thought I caught when he brought it in the first time. So this is both pickups again. This is supposed to be the neck pickup, which it is working. This one's not. Hope you can see this. This is supposed to be the bridge pickup, which it is. So something's backwards in here. What should be playing really twangly, right, and not fat sounding, is the this pickup. You got it? Now, first of all, when you put down these last two strings on it, you should have some clearance here, and it's touching this pickup. So the very first thing I've got to do is lower that pickup to the right height and get that settled real quickly. And I've got just the perfect little tools to do that with. I just need a driver to fit the job. I can find one. I'll just mess with mine. Alright, so let's go ahead and lower this. Well, let's just check it to be sure. Anyway, this is for the fat side. Alright, you see this, guys? Oh, you can't, my hand's in the way. This should go under this, and it's nowhere near going under this. This should go under the other side. This little gauge here. And it's just barely going, it's touching a little bit. It's just lifting it up, and it should clear it. So basically we want to keep this even and lower it. Basically we want to keep this even and lower it straight down. And at least get that bass side cleared out. Get that fixed up. So we're going to lower that a pretty good deal. And we want the guitar to play evenly, so we're going to lower this one the same amount. And make sure, we're going to do it one more time. We'll put our little strings in here, our little gauges in here. And now it clears it. You follow me? That's what you want. You don't want it touching. See it clear completely? Not, oh, sorry. See it clear completely? Doggone it. I'm left-handed. See this clear it completely? Not lift the string up? I hope you can see that. I can't help you otherwise it's just awkward. Anyhow, it's odd that this pickup is playing that kind of tone. It's just kind of back-asswards on the switch. Some tells me there's something wrong here in the wiring as far as the caps he's been using, but I've not looked in the back yet to see what's going on. So I really need to take a look in the back and see what's going on with this guitar, because this should be, you know, a nice fat tone coming off this pickup. and as sharp as can be. Alright? That should be the sharp tone, not this. Not mellow. Should sound like that. So, something's going on with inside this guitar, and it's something kind of unique to me. I've not seen this very often. But we will see what we can see, and if it all comes down to it, and all I need to do is to switch the three-way around, I can do that. But that would not be fixing the problem. That would just be putting a band-aid on it. So guys, while I open this thing up, we take a look inside of it. Hang with me. I'll go ahead and get the camera set up so you can see inside the guitar while I'm looking at it. So hang in there, guys. Okay, I'm trying to make sure you can see this and that my big old hands aren't in the way. But I'm going to have to cut away for a second, so hang in there, guys. Alright, I had to quit there for a second. Well, of course, it figures the minute I start on something, my battery dies and I've got to go to the electric. Now, I'm still going to try to show you inside this guitar come hell or high water. So hang in there, guys. Of course, there's very few wiring setups I've not seen already. Oh, that screw's loose. That's not good. I may need to fix this particular hole here. Holy cow! I take that back. There's a lot going on in here that's just amazing. Let's take a real close look at this, guys. I'm going to change the camera angle up. I'm going to raise it up above it. Let you look down into it like I'm looking. A bird's eye point of view. And there you can see what I'm talking about. Look at this. That is very crowded inside this pickup, this cavity. Amazing. Well, he did make some good choices. There are a couple of orange drops in here. Let's see what they are. I can't really read those. So they're 200s, two threes. They're both 223s, so that wouldn't have any account on the tone being different. If you put a bass tone in there, that will change things up. I'm sorry, you put a bass cap in there will affect the tone, but not that much. Not where it goes brittle and it goes like that. Let's see what's going on with this. This is his, it looks like it's hots to his pickup. Maybe to both of them. That's going to one wire on the post. This is going to ground, it looks like. And he's got a lot of tape in here trying to shield these things. But I'm going to need to bring some light onto this subject. So, get my little baby spotlight up and over here to help us out. I want to knock stuff off the shelf. Okay, let's change the angle of the spot and let's really get in there and take a look at what we're doing here. That always helps get the light on the subject. And the thing is, I hate to throw away things that are working. You know, this spot has been around for like, gosh, over 20 years. And I keep just putting new bulbs in it, but the mechanism is just thoroughly worn out. There's no sense trying to rebuild the mechanism, so I just put a piece of wire on it to hold it in place and change it when I need it. And since this is not, you know, surgery, it doesn't have to be just perfect. It's just gonna work. Wow, look at this. I can hardly see what's going on. There's so many different wires going everywhere. There's the ground wire. It's going to where? That's going to the volume pot. That's a little different. Okay. Odd. But most of this looks pretty common. You know, the wiring setup. I ran a quick disconnect in here, which I thoroughly approve of. I love those things. Let's see, that's going to where? He's got a bleed circuit on here as well. On one of these, on the top one. That could be the issue there. That's why the top pickup is doing its thing. That's why the neck pickup is doing its thing. It's being very brittle sounding. Yeah, let's see. Gotta verify that here in a minute. What I'll do, guys, is verify it. But you see, no, you can't see, darling, because I moved the camera. Okay, now you'll see in here it's got a bleed circuit on this particular this pot. Make the tone more sharp when you roll it, you know. That could be why the neck pickup is doing its thing and the back one's not anywhere near as brittle. But let's see if he's got one on it too. Holy cow. He's got one on both of them. So he won't lose a treble on either one. That's odd. I'm not sure what he's thinking on this when he does this. But we can sure find out. The rest of it looks pretty common. Just ground to ground. Wait a minute. I think, yeah, we got one too many grounds in here. The one thing you don't do is close up the, is that right? Is that to the ground? No, that's to the ground. That's not a ground. One thing you don't, you ground from pot to pot. Sorry guys, here we go again. You normally ground from pot to pot to pot to pot, but never across on the volumes. You never ground them to each other. That's really not necessary, and you could have some issues with these pickups. I don't know. We're still looking into this mystery, but I think it could be solved by just simply removing these bleed caps on here. But that's left to be seen. And what I need to do is go ahead and get the information off one of his pickups and go online and see if we can find some wiring diagrams for this, because this is a little awkward. I don't normally see bleed circuits on both pickups. It's usually on the bridge to make it more sharp. You know, it won't lose treble when you roll it down the volume. So guys, hang in there while I take one of those pickups out of its mounts and see who made these things and verify that. Hang in there. Well, we got some issues here. We have a hum that we got to get rid of, the pickups, and that's a grounding issue. We also have an adjustable pickup that seems to be out of adjustment, and we have some wiring that's not done properly. So it's like spend hours tracking down the problems, or just take these out and just rewire it the right way and just get it done. Which I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to take them back outside the body again, lay some cloth down so it won't scratch anything up, and just do them for the diagram. He says it all Gibson diagram, so that's easy enough to follow, and get this thing done. Okay, I'm thinking maybe no, that can't be it. But that hum is coming from a ground somewhere on this guitar, and I'm thinking it could be because he's cross-grounded these, which normally you just don't do that. You live that U-shaped on the ground. You go from here, go from here, here to here to here to here, but never from here to here. You know, never from here to here. I think that's been done, but there's so much stuff going on in this guitar, and it's such a small cavity, I can't see everything. So I'll do what I can to get them outside the body without disconnecting anything, and go from there and fix this thing up. He just wants it to play like a Les Paul. Well, that's what we're going to do. By God, we're going to make it sound and play like a Les Paul plays and sounds. So hang in there, guys. All right, I just talked to the owner. He said fix this thing, okay? So we're still with the fact that the neck pickup sounds like the bridge. See that? Nada. 3 ways on the bridge, the neck, I'm sorry, the neck. Neck's working, bridge is not working. Sounds like a bridge should sound. Okay. Now, three-way in the middle. Oh, come on. Three-way in the middle. Kind of normal tone for both pickups. Both pickups are working. Sorry. Both pickups are working. Okay, now I adjusted the height of the neck pickup and adjusted the bottoms where they're supposed to be, right? The rods. And nothing, still that sound. Okay. Wow. Now I did test them. I came out with a 7.85 and a 717 on resistance, which is kind of weak for pickups. But anyway, I thought they were supposed to be hot rod, but they're not. Okay. Now that's the again. This is the bridge here. Listen to it. Sounds nice, fat, and mellow. Okay, so we're going to take this apart like the guy that owns it wants us to do, and we're going to make it sound like a Les Paul, period. We're not going to sit here and try to figure out what's going wrong with it. We're just going to fix it, okay? And as I told him I'd do, I charged him exactly what we've discussed and nothing more, because I want to see it fixed. You know, I want to hear this thing play, for God's sake. So hang in there, guys. Okay, so the guy who owns it said fix it like a Les Paul is supposed to sound. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop trying to chase down what the heck went wrong with it, and I'll fix it and make what's right with it. Does that make sense? So, you see what's going on. There's a hum. The neck pickup sounds like a bridge pickup, and the bridge sounds like a neck should sound. Now, switching these around and removing them, putting them in different spots may make a lot of sense as well. But what we're going to do is get these things off of here first of all and wire it up right to begin with. Make sure there's no issues there that I have to deal with later. Okay? And what we're going to do is get these outside the body if we can. There's enough wire. If he's left enough slack, I'll get these outside the body and take a quick look just to make sure I can't spot something and save, you know, at least a half hour or so. But I think it's just going to take a complete rewire just to make sure it's just done and fixed and over with. And he said that he may have put the wrong pickups on the wrong spots. But there's not that much difference between these pickups, you know? Hold on there. Where's the other one? There she be. Okay. Well, now it's outside the body. At least I can try to get an idea of what he's done, you know, electronic-wise, and see how he's wired this. Oh. Okay. What I always hate to see is when they ground the pickup. And so when they ground the jack with one single wire, I like to see it separated with two separate wires, but it's no big deal as long as they're good separation, not touching, which is this one's doing that a bit. Aha, it's got a few less through. It has a few threads hanging free. Let's see what else he's done. Okay, no, he did not complete the circuit, which I'm glad he didn't. Why is this tape on here? Oh, that's just to hide those parts, those extra wires. These little bleed circuits are a nightmare, and you can burn them up so quickly. You know, it don't take much at all. That little resistor to go. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is take those little darn things off there and go from there. Well, look at this, got an extra long leg on this. What was that? What was that touching? Was that touching something? I may have been touching the leg on that other cap, which you really don't want that to do. Alright, got this to ground, got this to ground, that to ground. That's only his tone pots. He's not grounded these though, his volume pots at all, which that's kind of normal on a Les Paul setup. You ground your volume post to the body of the guitar too, the body of the pot. Wait a minute, he's got that, I think, in the wrong spot. Let's see. And this little wire here just came right off. It just fell off. So I think we found maybe a problem. Okay, guys? If you'll look, I don't know if you can see this or not. If you'll look, this one, this lead, which was actually to the post and a ground. It looks like, yeah, it's a ground. Fell off. That could be your hum sound. Okay, just a bad connection there. It just fell off of my hand. So everything else has been, you know, done properly, soldered properly, but this one just fell off. And this is a what is that going to? What did that go to? I think it went right here. We've got it grounded. I think that may have been it. It just burned up. There's where it went. It just fell off. So that ground wire fell off. Okay, so that's your hum. That sure don't explain your bridge and the neck issue. That sure explains your hum issue. You got a loose ground spot wire. Now, a safe thing to do is just take these darn pickups out of there and rewire them completely. There are those CTS pots, but why do you get short shaft ones? I don't understand that. Why do you do that? You gotta make sure they're in good shape too. Check them to make sure they're not burned up. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's do a quick check on that. Alright. What have we got as far as the pots are concerned? What values are they? That's odd. Well, that could explain it too. Well, the cap's burned up on those little bleed circuits. That's why I hate those goddamn little things. They do just fuck up easily. Okay, well shit, hang in there, guys. I'm testing one of those little bleed circuit caps down there. This little jewel right here. I'm getting a 64.8 on it. And I go back to its counterpart, the other one, and I do a test on it. And I get a 0. Oh shit. And I get a 0. Okay, where are you? Right there, and I get a 0, so that's no good. I still don't think that's the issue with the crazy tones. Alright, I don't think that's the issue with the wonky tones though, or the fact that things are just falling off. Things are not desoldered real well. And he said he had a problem with the solder gun, which is, you know, looks like he did. You know, because I'm looking at another one that just fell off. You J-hooked this one to cross hook it to the tone pot, right? And unfortunately, it just didn't hold. Now, he had it hooked in like this, where this hole is. This one leg for the pot, or maybe backwards, I'm not sure. And what happened was, outside the body, not inside, outside the body, it came loose. Okay, so it's sticking there like this. Okay, sticking there like that, and didn't have any solder, you know, on the other side. Just had to, you know, just filled in the hole itself, and didn't catch it very well. Okay, didn't catch the leg very well. And in the future, just be, you know, be aware. But you know, this did happen outside the body, not inside. It was fine inside. Okay, just FYI. Alrighty. And here's that circuit I'm talking about being kind of wonky. In fact, I don't see too many of these on neck pickups. I see these mainly on bridges. And what that is, a bleed circuit, and it works by actually altering your tone. It kind of boosts your treble tone, your high end tone, when you do a volume roll off on it. Okay, that makes sense. But on the treble side, like on I normally put these exact same things on a Telecaster, and it gives them a hell of a squeal on the on that bridge pickup. I mean, it goes from a kind of treble sound, which I dig. Anyways, got these on both of them, and that's kind of awkward, but we'll see. And under all these circumstances going on with this, I'm just going to desolder every one of these things and set it back up again, check them, verify there's nothing else burned out. I'm pretty sure the orange drops are okay. Using 223s and 223s, common, you know, Les Paul caps on the orange drops. Those are very hard to hurt, even when you don't heat sink them. I got plenty of those laying around as well, and we'll make sure he knows that the money's not the issue on this. I just want to get him fixed. I want this fixed for my video and out the door, and him happy. Okay, so hang in there, guys, while I desolder all this stuff. I don't think you want to see me do that, or maybe you do. So hang in there. I'll desolder it for you on camera. Okay, yeah, Martin and the Jazz Master coming over Friday at 2:30. So, sorry guys, I had to stop and answer that. Where was I? Yeah, one of the little bleed circuits is burned out. It's a 0 on the reading, and one's a 68. I think that's what it was. And I need to. I don't need to measure the orange drops. I know they're still working. You know, it's near impossible to burn these caps up. It's one of the reasons I like them so much. Anyway, yes, dudes, heat sink. Sorry, hold on a minute. Let me grab mine. If no one knows what a heat sink is, let me show you. Now, here's a real one. Here's an expensive one. They're $3, okay? And what that does, you see that leg of this thing right there? You clip that on there, just like there, just like that. And when you're soldering down here below the heat sink, it doesn't get up there to the cap. Doesn't ruin it. Got me? So when you're soldering on those little bitty tiny bastards like this one, you just clip it on there just like that, and the heat doesn't travel up and burn that little baby up like it happened. Of course, you know, anything could happen, you know, geez. Now, if you can't find a heat sink, a special heat sink unit like this one, this works just as well, an alligator clip. You see that? Okay? But, let me explain something, because somebody actually gave this to me and said, will this work as a heat sink? This is a plastic note clip-on thing like your damn refrigerator. No, this will not work as a heat sink. It works better as a note clip-on thing, like a duckbill. Quack, 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 quack. Got it? It doesn't work too well for heat sink because it's plastic. It doesn't absorb heat. Heat sink is simply a device that absorbs the heat. It keeps it traveling past itself. Does that make sense? So, let me grab one of my common little soldering irons and turn this thing around to get it over the table and turn off my voltmeter. let's get the desoldering, and I'll test all these pots one more time to make sure there's no problem with them. I think one's got a problem, but we'll see. We'll see, okay? So hang in there, guys. What we have now is a completely stripped Les Paul. I mean, I've taken everything out of it. I'm going to start over, okay? Of course, I would pick the worst morning to do this. It's cold out, it's 46 degrees, and unless I'm going to be using some flux, I'm going to have a hard time with that solder job. But I got plenty of that in a brand new can. And I'm wondering if that's just not paint through, which I hope it is. It's not. It's that damn polish. Damn, dude. Okay, this polish inside this guitar has got to go, right? Either it goes or me goes, because that's what ruins electronics. See this? That is a nightmare. And that is not paint through. That's polish. I just scratched a bunch off. So I've got to clean this out of here before I even come close to putting those pots back in there, because that just ruins electronics. That could be one of the tiny issues with this guitar, and that could be one of the tiny issues with this guitar. And the problem it has, it's got a ton of polishing compound in it. So I gotta let him know that and get that taken care of. Well, I got most of that out. Well, actually, I got all of it out. That the rest you see is actually paint through inside the cavity, and well, that may not be. That may be still some in there. Hold on, guys. All right, now it's clean. Okay, so only thing left is paint through, where the black paint didn't cover, but like this right here, that's paint that won't come off. Okay, so we're going to get back on this guitar and put it back together again right now. Hopefully this weather will not screw me up too much. I've got flux to use on the soldering jobs, but I still have to desolder those pots that he put a lot of solder on. Get those cleaned up and set up. So what I need to really do is set up a form with a piece of cardboard, and we've got the white Les Paul back out again, and what we're doing now is to put our pots back in, cap set up. I still want to put a bleed circuit on the bridge pickup setup here, but just, you know, barely wired up. Some things aren't soldered because they have to have some other things added to those posts. But I ran the three-way through, guys, and I added some length to the pickups on the neck pickup because it was just too short. Now it did have some added length to it already and a couple of quick disconnects, but guys, you can't really go on somebody else's work. You know, it's not safe to do it. You have to do your own to verify that it's okay, there's nothing wrong with the part, because we have issues right now with this guitar. And the pickups are back in the place where they were originally. The bridge pickup is an 8.6. The neck pickup is a 7.49, and it should play like a you know, regular Les Paul. Nothing special about it, nothing hot about it. But that bridge pickup should sound like a bridge pickup, be very trebly because of its location to the strings. That's how it works that way, you know. It picks up the twanginess near the end of the bridge. So next step is to put these in and get on with the wiring and the final soldering. Well, here's the one thing when working on these guitars that is the least fun to do. I mean, the least. I've got to go in here on this microscopic, wow, wire and clean this cover off this ground wire here, this black one. There's not a lot of ways you can do it. Industrially, they offer a stripper, right, for big jobs, but the ones like this, you got to take a knife and just try to get it going to get that coating off there, and hope you can catch some wire while you're at it, like this. But it's so thin. Oh man. The thing you don't want to do is end up chasing it down the down the path of it. But you got to get enough piece of it to actually, solder up. This little black ground wire here goes with this little wire here. And there's not a lot to grab there. But once I get that on there, that should do the job. And a good bit of solder won't hurt. Make sure I don't burn it through. If they go any thinner on these wires for these pickups, you won't be able to see them. You have to have a magnifying glass just to see the damn little things. If you put a soldering iron to them, you end up burning all the way through them just in a puff of smoke. There, that should do that one pretty well. That's actually got to go against the potentiometer's back, so I can't wrap it. I can wrap this green and white one with some shrink tubing, and it is connected to one another. But I'm gonna hit that with some solder one more time before I close it up, just to be safe sides. I've got my special tip right now on my soldering iron, and what it does, it holds a drop of solder all the time, like a little bead on the inside of the tip, like this. You can see that? Sorry guys, let me get a tip there. There, see that? Holds that little tip there. And when I'm finished with it, I just flick it off. But it still stays tinned on the inside to get another little droplet of it. Now, those don't come like that. I had to work with that and keep using it. I ended up wearing it out, but I did find a use for it. So it's like, not bad. It works pretty well in certain circumstances. It holds a nice drop of solder, just enough to solder up and tin up wires. So that is kind of a blessing. Now, let's shift back to the wires at hand here. Of course, I've got way too much wire here for the three-way, but I want to make sure when I run three-way wire, I've got plenty of it, and I will leave some extra in there in case something happens. I don't want it just springboard tight, and none of these wires do I want springboard tight. That's a mistake, because the first pull on them and they're gone. They've broken free of wherever you had them soldered down to. Now, next trick is to get these inside of this, inside of this cavity right here. So I don't have these bolted on the back, but I will need the washers and screws for them. So let's go ahead and get those out. Seven of those little screws are left, and the rest of the hardware is right here. The hardware is right here, Okay, now the way he had it, he had his lock washers on the inside, which I'll repeat. I'll do it pretty much like he wanted it. I'll put those in there, and then casually put down the pots. Nice and easy like, so I don't do any damage to that solder job I've done on them so far. And if I had enough wire, it wasn't I could actually wire this up on the outside of the guitar and put it back in later, but I think I'll go ahead and put them in and solder them up, because there's not that much left to do on this. Alright, so we'll pop these free. They go right as they are, just like this, one on top of the other. And I just want to get them loose so I don't pull any wires loose while I'm doing this. And the caps have one leg soldered down and the other one is open because other wires go to that, including that little bleed circuit on the bottom of these, on the bottom group of these 4. So let's get those in there casually. Come on, babies. And I did leave enough space and gap in those wires, so that's not an issue. I actually can work with them. And, you know, you never really want these springboard tight, because the first thing that happens, somebody gets in a hurry and they'll twist these knobs not thinking, and then they'll feel something pull free and they go, whoops, I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, you're right, you just pull the wires loose on the inside. And then you're back in this thing trying to find out which ones you pull loose. Not a fun task. And what I always recommend to people that ask me about, I say, go on, pull it out. You know, pull those out, and just, you know, if you can pull them out, instead of trying to find it inside the guitar itself, because it's much easier. Now, what I do, I just work upside down with this, and all he has on here are the nuts and the washers. So I'll leave it sitting down just like you see it, and I'll just hand tighten these on here, hold them in place while I do the rest of the work, the rest of the solder work. As you flip it over, they're going to come out, and you're going to be chasing those little washers all over the place. Okay, next one. Alright, first thing I think I'll do, I'll go ahead and clean off the plastic off these 3-way wires, and attach those, because those are on the pot legs by themselves. And since these are going into a leg, I will give them a twist. Alright, they're just going on top of the pot. Let's see, red and yellow. If they're going on top of the pot, just touching it, I just leave them alone, because that spread actually helps grab more solder and more body of the potentiometer. That makes sense. The solder flows through them when they're spread out like that. And that's what these others are for. Alright, at least you'll get to see some of the work, and if I have to, I'll try to rearrange the guitar a little bit so you can see a little bit more of it. But anyway, these are the control legs off the 3-way for the guitar. The yellow goes on top, that controls the neck, and that goes into the middle lug on the pot. Okay. That. A little loop in it, bring it back through. And one thing you don't want to do is get too much wire exposed and accidentally finish it off and it touches another leg. Now, I've seen that happen on a lot of jobs that there's a problem with. They'll bring it to you, oh, what's going on here? And I'll see it immediately. That's what's happened. Either that or some extra solder got by them or got a little crazy with it, and it was just too much, and it grounded off on something else it shouldn't have grounded off on. Wow, it's not easy controlling this little devil today. Of course, if you can, it's always best to do these outside the body, So I switched to a different soldering iron that's falling apart on me, but this one actually has a nice light on it, right? Nice tip, nice light to get inside these cavities when you're working inside the guitar. It's a really beat up one I had for a while. I need to replace it and get another one just like it. But, oh, they don't make them like they used to. It used to be I could have a soldering iron last 4 or 5 years before I just wore the thing out and just put a new tip on it. No problem. Not today. The tips fall out. The holders don't hold them anymore. It's like, damn. So that wires down completely and thoroughly, finally. Now I'm going to tin this other one. Tin this other lead from the 3-way up using the same soldering iron. That other one with the cupped tip end would have been much better to use, but you got to use what you got to use. It's going to be a little bit of a pain. I got to get on the wire like that. You know, once you got it going, it's not bad. It's easy. Extra bit off there. Right down. There we go. Now it's set. But the bad part about it is this particular soldering iron, there's no way to hold it. There's no caddy built to hold it in place. So just kind of lay it there out of your way so you don't burn anything up. And my really good soldering iron bit the big one when the shaft just fell out of it and it burned up my mat. Made me pretty damn mad. But those things happen. Now, what I'm doing, I'm making sure that I get a good solder. And I don't know if you can see this or not, guys, but I'm getting good solder on this one here. And if it's working right, it doesn't take very much at all. And this light really helps. The trick is to get it right in there on like that. Okay, so that down, that lead to the 3-ways down. And now I have to sit the soldering iron down its side, and for some reason it loses its heat on the tip when I do that, because it's old and it's broken. But the light still works and it still gets hot, so I just gotta wait until it melts the solder and then use it inside the cavity. Okay, now these other 2 wires coming off of the 3-way are meant for the jack and for a ground. Let's get that set up. And like I said, I left a lot of loop on this. Sorry guys, I left a lot of loop on this, right, extra. So all I got to do is pull these extra wires through and get as much, you know, lead as I want. We take the center wire off the 3-way, which is the, let's see, just make sure. Center wire is the double lead off the jack, and I can't see the color of it. Wow, that's dark in there. Which one is it? That's the black one. Okay, that's the black one. And the other's the green for the ground, of course. So, we got to pull that black one loose a bit. Get some more space in there. Alright. Take it out of that loop on the heat shrink a bit. Some more working room. See how that works? Now, that should be more than enough space and length to run that jack, and it is. And again, it's still not just, you know, overly tight, which is what you don't want. And this green one, this ground, I can pull that same amount and gently pull the others, right? And then all I gotta do is just set that down. Sorry guys. all I do is just set it down inside the body of the guitar. Isn't that nice? So heat shrink tubing actually helps a person a lot in these jobs. Now I gotta strip that wire off there, get myself enough lead to do a twist on it because it's going inside of a post again, not on the outside of anything. And I've got to find my little jack. It's still in the form. Alright. And this goes on the hot leg of the ground, which would be the one that touches everything, which is right here. See that? Okay, so we'll just bring it through and wrap it, heat it with some shrink or some solder. And the other is a ground that should come off the top of a pot. This last tone pot. Let's see. It doesn't say which one on the diagram, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's what it is with most of them. Yeah, it comes off the top pot, top tone pot, out to the jack. So we're going to need one more wire. And since this was black, we'll use a yellow one. Let's get a little more scientific and measure this. Alright, that with the leads should be long enough. And like I say, you know, it's better to use the extra than less all the time. So that is more than enough length in there. Well, my old battery on my camera, I've just got to take time to replace that. So one of these days, oh man, I got to get one that lasts longer too than in an hour. Anyway, what I've done, I soldered these two grounds together to go on this back potentiometer. I know you can't see this, guys, but I've had to take the light off this to run the two transformers on my soldering iron and on my camera. Doggone it. And my nearest extension wire right now is too far away to get to. So I've got to take a break and get that set up. But all I got to do, basically, is to wire up two wires to these pickups. And oh yeah, don't forget the bleed circuit. And hit the grounds on this. It's only now there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 grounds I have to do, and it'll be done, and I can close this thing up and test it. See what we come up with. Make sure we got some sounds from those pickups. Make sure that diagram is the way it's supposed to be. Here's that little bleed circuit, the one that's still working. I'm gonna hold off on this thing. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing up, test these pickups under wire, under string, and then I can always go back and put this on later, right? Because it just, you know, goes on pretty quickly on the outside and inside leg of the lower volume pot or tone pot. Let's see what it is. Volume pot. Okay, so this goes on volume pot. It's a little bleed circuit, according to this diagram that I'm using to do all these with. So Next step, let's get these pickups put in and on. And since I don't have my soldering iron down, I can't see anything very well. But I can see the little hole for the leg, outside leg, of the pot for the volume. Just gotta get that ground wire out of my way for a second. Gotcha! Oh yes! It's nice when things finally work right. Yes, that's on there tight. Well, what's left, guys? What's left is to do the last pickup and we're done with this guitar as far as on the inside wiring. Alright? I'm sorry you can't see anymore, but I gotta get this thing done. It's just too confusing. And some people don't have all the parts for the guitars. There'll be a screw or something missing. Alright, there's his string package that goes with his final envelope. There we go, upside down. Got that done, got this done, guys. And we're ready to close her up and put some strings on it. Yay! But first of all I'll do is test it, you know, just flipping the switches around to see what I've got here, make sure there's no problems there. If I don't have any problems, I'll tighten everything down first by opening it back up again and holding those pots in place while I turn the final screw down for the job. And that particular one right there is loose. That's not a very good bite to it. As I mentioned before, neither is this one. It's almost got straight through. See what I'm saying? It's almost like there's no bite to it at all. I may need to put something down in there like a toothpick tip to help with resistance. Make sure the hole is in place. These two do work. These two do not work. That's frustrating in itself. But we'll turn everything off here and set it up and bang on it and see what sounds come out. So hang in there, guys. Okay, we got it flipped over. I'm going to do a contact test on the pickups. Make sure they're both working. Alright, so here we go. Well, both of them are working. Yep. Both are working the way they're supposed to work, okay? But we got a hum in there, guys. Okay? Okay, guys, you heard it humming and buzzing, but it's still in there, cousin. I can zoom in as much as I can. But it's really recessed into the hole itself, and I don't think it's touching anything metal. So what I'm going to do is use my tweezers, just like these. Come here, baby. And I'll pull it free again. If I can. I'll pull it free. Wow, it's really stuck in there. Yeah. It may have even broken, it may have a short in it, like it's broken free of the other part of the wire. It's all wire. You see it now, I'm sure. Okay, see this? That little tiny wire there is causing the problems. It's not contacting where it should be contacting. This wire here, okay? So, when that kind of thing happens, you just kind of put it back in there, not daintily, just shove it back down there all spread out and splayed out. And now, since it's about halfway down in it, you take the post again and shove it down. Now you know it's going to be contacting that post. It's got to contact it. Alright, and we'll turn the amp back on and verify that here in a second. In the meantime, what you use is what's known as a dead blow hammer. Alright? You put this back down after you've pressed it so you don't do any damage. Okay, so you don't hear the hum anymore, right? And the amp is on, so listen to this now. Both working, yay, no hum. So I cut past the bad spot on that lead wire for the ground up here on this. You don't hear that anymore. And it's done. Before I had to pull it all the way through again, I found just a dead spot in the wire. I thought that may be it. It got burned up the line or something. So I cut off about half an inch and tried the continuity again. And it's fine. So listen. Well, you heard it here. No more hum, and both pickups are working like they're supposed to. Switch is correct, and the pickups are correct. So really the next thing to do is to tighten these things up, open it back up one more time, tighten them up, string it up, and see what takes place with these pickups, how they're going to sound individually. Hopefully they'll sound correctly, right? I still have that bleed circuit to put on there, but I might put that on there later if I get, if I get these things working just perfectly. I'll leave it off and let him know and say, hey, you wanted the Les Paul, you got one. That circuit's not going to help you a hell of a lot. But I did manage to save that work from having to go in there and pull that wire through there. God, that's a lot of work. Thankfully, I had an extra long piece of wire in there, and I cut, about an inch off, and thought I'll test it again. And I did, and bingo, because I was going to cut it, snip it at the very end, and pull it through, make it easier to pull through. I thought, no, let's cut off just an inch of it and see. And son of a gun, it didn't work. No more hum. Okay, so time to put on a new set of strings and hear what the tones sound like on this baby. So hang in there, guys. So we're going to put new strings on there. We're going to put new DAs on it. They're nickel wound. They're very nice. Get rid of these old ones. One thing nice about this guitar is it's got a spring-loaded tail. Yes, spring-loaded tail. So that no matter if it's strung or not, that tail stays on that guitar pretty nicely. I think that's a nice thing to have. Because, if you've done a lot of these, you know what it's like for that tail to go flopping off and banging on the ground, rolling around. So Gibson came up with a good idea there, or Epiphone, one or the other. I don't think Gibson does it yet, but I know Epi does on all their new ones. Okay, so I just need the tail now. Where did I set that? Okay, so put the tail back on it. Put the camera so you see what the hell I'm doing. And I'll walk you through how I string up these guitars. Even though I've got to kind of go a little bit backwards, because this is not the way I usually do it. I usually have that end down here on the other side of my little work table. And I always get them straight, these posts. So they're nice to work with, easier. And what I do on these wound strings, I'll take them 1.5 posts past, then bring them back. Okay? So I go right about here, up that second post, right? Bring it back, that's where my wrap starts. Okay? And like that, and we're ready to rock and roll with this little toy here. As you can see, you've got to keep your finger on that, your thumb on that, otherwise it just runs around a bit. And what I end up doing, I get 2 wraps by spacing like that, 2 to 3 wraps, and that will give somebody the ability to do any type of drop tuning they want to do. Let's stop a second. And that's what I thought. Catches that little 3-way switch. Stop a second again. The top. There we go. Alright, that one's set up to do. Alright, okay. next one, same routine as the other one. I can't believe that actually went inside my little winding tool. Before it didn't even come close to fitting inside that. I guess it hit it just right. It got stuck there for a while. Alright, same thing with this one, but there's no post, so you take it on the estimate 2 posts up. Alright, there's 1 post, 2 posts, bring it back down, wrap it around, and you're set. Like I said, you gotta hold your thumb there. If I can get that in there, so now we got it. Sorry guys. We won't be pushing that wound string up against the hole what the lead through is, so it's right. I just about got it right there. One more. Okay, make sure it's on the bridge. Hey, that's set. Okay, now I got 2 of them going. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to switch this thing around to do the other. Well, no, I don't have to. On the other one, it'll be easier. Other side. Okay. 1 more to go on that bad side. Then it'll be an easy breezy. Japanesey. Okay. Hey, what else? Like I said on a billion different videos, when I was a kid, I was always concerned about wrapping the E string up, getting it tuned up for breaking it. So I ended up with 1 set of strings. You know, I didn't want to spend money on strings. I want to spend them on cheap books and sheet music. You know what I'm saying? So I'd only buy 1 set of strings at a time for each of my guitars. And back when I was a kid, I only had 2 guitars. I had an acoustic and electric, and that was that. And one of those big ass, fat ass Gibsons. ES's, and I had a nice little Ventura that I really loved. I should have never gotten rid of it. But things change. I keep looking to find one like it. It's Ventura. It's a Dreadnought made in the 70s. But no one seems to be selling them, which that's understandable. Alright, on this one you don't need as much string, obviously, because it's thinner. So, about 1 length, and you got plenty. So fit it into that big spot there, Dave. Alright, now here we go. Hold it tight. On the thinner strings, you gotta hold it up there at the spindle itself, because it's gonna fall right off that wire wheel, and you twist on it. You gotta guide it all the way through the process. Okay? And we're getting close. Make sure you're up on the bridge. The saddle. There we go. We're done. Alright. Oh, thank goodness. Now we're on the easy side. Of course, these aren't strung with a flip. They are really loose. Let's go hand twist. And those are on 3s. This one's got a nice 2 wrap, ended up being 3. Okay, next string. Oh boy. Talking about the infamous G string. And Les Paul, this thing is known for being persnickety. Alright, take it about yay high. Right? Sorry. Let's get these all turned the right way to make it easier on old Dave. So that when I'm putting them through, they're all set up properly. Right? So this one comes through right nicely. Pull that tight down there. Take it up about to the edge of that headstock. Best thing to do is have like a spot you know already, you know, that you can actually work from, so you know how much lead you need. And this G-string is just thick enough you can do this, but when you get thinner, you're going to have to hold your hand in here like this to make sure that you're getting wrapped, not falling out of the spindle itself, which happens all the time. And sometimes I'll just go ahead and do that by hand, but I try to do it with this little toy. Alright, got it. Okay, last two, and we're almost there. I'll get here a chance to hear it play. Oh boy. Hold it tight. And here comes my favorite postal worker. There she is.
How are you?
Miss Postal Worker of 2017. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. You have a good one.
What's your name again?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Thanks, Jennifer. You're on camera. Thanks. Alright, look at here. Jennifer's so nice, she brings me big packages. Look at this. Another one from Stu Mac. Oh boy, I hope that's what it's supposed to be. Whoops. I hope that those are special truss rod wrenches that I've got to have, like now. The ones that are bent. And I had a couple of them, but they weren't the right size anymore. Things change. You know, sizes change, popularity of things change. Like I said, once I get it wrapped, you know, twice, once around, full, I can go ahead and, you know, defer to this little jewel tool here. Make sure it doesn't take as long and it does get wrapped. It's not tearing my fingers up, my hands. Now, somebody that has arthritis or something, this thing is a perfect Christmas present. This little tool here. But give them the model up. This is 19 bucks. Give them the $29 one so it doesn't break on them. Hang in there, guys. We're going to play here in a minute. Okay, I guess it'd be good if I had the camera going, guys. What I just did, if I didn't record it there, I lowered the bobbins on the pickup because they were actually touching the strings themselves, and they were way too high. So it's still too low. I'm actually touching the strings still to the bobbin, and they're as low as I wanted to go with this. Maybe a couple I can go a little lower, but anyway, I can go just a tiny bit lower on the bridges, on the pickup itself into the bracket. But the thing is, I got my action gauge out, and we're well below 64s. We're 2. God, we're 2 and 2. It's just, you know, no wonder it's buzzing like crazy. There's not enough release. Sorry, the action's way too low. So what I'm doing right now is untuning the guitar to raise the bridge up just a little bit to compensate. I've already put enough relief on this guitar. Come on, turn. Sorry guys, my hand's in the way. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take a flathead and adjust this bridge up more than I would normally adjust it up. If I can show it to you. There it is, right there. See it? Pretty bridge. Anyway, I want to adjust it up more than normal, right? And then I want to do some action checking with it in tune and lower it back down again. Until I get it to where it's not touching anything, it's not buzzing, and the action's, you know, as close to that 4/64 and 3/64 so I can get it to on this guitar. Sorry about the soldering earlier. I didn't know it hadn't. I thought the camera was running. I thought I saw a little red dot right there. You can't see it, but I can. Right there's a little red dot showing me the camera's actually working. And I thought I was actually taping the resolder and the reinstallation of these new pickups. All right. I think I got some music played on them. Show you they both work still. But that was with the bobbins way too close to the strings, giving that tinny sound. So here we go, time to do some adjusting. Alright, those are all just as floppy as they can be. And what I'm going to do is raise this bridge up much higher than I normally would. Tune the guitar up and then adjust it back down as I go. So I'm going to get them nice and level right at the moment. This bridge. I got a little higher on that end. Let's get up this too. Right about there. Okay, now we're even. Right. Let's see. Hold on a second. Get a better scale going here. Well, I can't see that from there. Hold on, guys. I gotta find one that's going to touch there. Alright, I'm at 250 there. And 250 there. So those are about even. That's going to come just one hair. It'll be even with the other one. Alright, now they're both even. Okay? And maybe, no, it's still out of tune. Anyway, what I'm going to do is tune it back up again. And then check all the action on it. And check the height of the pickups and the tone and everything. And go from there. So hang in there, guys, while I tune this thing back up again. I don't think you want to see that. Okay, well, I lowered and adjusted this and tuned it once again. And I just did a rough twist. I did two on each side. And what I've come up with, on the high side, I'm right at 4/64. And on the low, 4/64. So I could come down a little bit on this, which I think I'm going to. I am going to do that. I'm going to come down just enough on this for an adjustment. And then check it under tune first, right like that. That's enough. Now I'm at 3/64. Okay? Let's tune it up and see what we got now. We're almost there, guys. We're almost to this thing, okay? So hang in there. Let's see. Strings are still stretching. I guarantee you that bridge adjustment didn't cause all this. The strings are stretching. Alright, let's check it. Oh yeah. Okay guys, let's check it on the scale here. Hold on. Make sure what we got now is 3/64 on that side. Okie dokie. Alright, let's check it and see what we got on the scale. This time, okay, what we got? Aha! We've got 3/64. Let's see. 4/64. So we're right there at factory. Can I come a little lower? Maybe just a tiny hair breadth on the rest of it, okay? And I still have to lower that pickup and get it in the proper position. And I need a Phillips to do that with, so hang in there. Try and grab a smaller Phillips, like this one. And I'll lower it down. Well, let's do this. Let's get the gauges out first, guys. And check with those, just to be 100%, because I cannot eyeball these at all. And using a scale, that's just kind of a guesstimate as well. What you do, you take your finger, you put it here, and if you go under, without it going up any, I got a problem. It's way too high still. Let's try the other side on the last one. It's just too high, okay, to get this kind of action. So I got to come down lower just a little bit on this pickup. And it's not adjusting that much, even though I'm turning quite a lot. It's not doing a lot of adjusting. All right, about there, and see what we come up with. Okay, one more time with the gauges. Yeah, we're under now. Okay, we're under now. Right, we're under now. There you go. See that? We're under now. Let's try the other one, other side. It's done. Yeah. Oh, you can't see diddly squat. Let me try it left-handed first. Right. No string lift. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so we've got this thing as tweaked as possible. You know, 4/64 on the action on the low E side, 3 on the high E, and all tuned up. Next thing to do is to turn it on, hear how it plays, hear its true voice, and go from there. Okay, so hang in there, guys, while I switch things around and play this for you. Okay, guys, here we go. All right, we'll turn this thing all the way up. Both pickups, okay? This is the neck. Yeah, that's much more. Let's go to the bridge. And I think I can get away with a little bit more adjustment on this pickup here. We'll try that out, so hang in there. Okay, well, tone on this guitar is about driven all this crazy. Trying to figure out what's going on with it. And I took the easiest route and I switched over the caps on it. See if that was an issue. It's not. And when I tried to engage the pot, it didn't work at all. Not at all. And I tested every single one of them before I put them in this guitar. So this thing has gone bad. While putting it in, or it just was on its way to go bad, or something went bad with it. It's just not working, period. So, the obvious thing to do is go in there and replace that pot. Now I've got an all parts, these are both all parts brand new. I'm gonna put in there. As I told the guy, I would get it playing like a Les Paul, and that's what I'm gonna do. Alright? So, I'm gonna turn this off for a little bit, switch these pots out, and see what the tone is then. If the tone hasn't changed, well, I don't know what else to do about this. The pickup's got a problem still. And either that or his pickups just sound that way. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. We'll see. And of course, the pot I want to take out is the one you can't see. That figures. This one up against the back here, right here. Sorry. It's this one right here, top tone pot. Put my finger on it right there. You see that? Yeah, I guess you can see that. Okay. Very top tone pot, not the volume of tone. Okay. So I'm gonna take this one and rough it up with a bit. With some scratches on it, basically what I'm doing, and some cross scratches called scoring, so that this thing will be able to attach the solder to it readily. I don't like to mess with this today. And it's a very humid, cool day, which makes it even tougher to mess with. Okie dokie. So, I need a pair of pliers to remove these wires with. So I use my bare fingers. These bent needle nose will work with just fine. Okie doke. So let's plug in a new soldering iron. Get it working. Ta-da! Where are you? There you are. This one has 3 lights, even better. I don't know how long this will last, maybe a week. But we'll get the new pot in there and that's settled. And try that, see if that doesn't fix the issue. If that doesn't hit, I'm finished. I can't help that pot sounds that way. I'm sorry. If that doesn't work, that pickup sounds that way. Okay. This one right here, this one right here, you can't see it, can you? That's the tone. It's behind the wood, it's right here. This is the tone pot down here in this little spot here. And I don't have a camera that hangs from above at all. And I can't do so over my shoulders, just too much in the way. So what I'll do is real quickly and safely desolder this, so I don't do any damage to anything, and get this done. This has a wire with a flip on it. Okay. Baby, you should be hot way by now. And you're not. Okay, let's wait a while till the gun heats up. One reason why I don't like the Wellers that much, they take forever to heat up. You definitely need a special stand for them, because the stand they come with is not very good. It's got a piece of aluminum they just bent. But if you put them in a ring stand, kind of normally used, the tip touches the ring itself and takes the heat away from the soldering iron, making it useless. So, hi. I can smell it. We should try again, see what happens. Here it comes. Come on, baby. That's one. And I won't burn these wires so I can use them again. There's two. And it's got the orange drop cap attached to it, like that. And that's out of there. That's all there is wired to it. So we can get this thing out of there. Turn this off so it don't burn anything. The only off got is pull it out of the plug. Crap. Okay. Yeah, when I'm messing around with these things, I do not like to have the soldering iron sitting on the table like that. That's a good way to have it roll off and burn your ass, or burn some parts, or a guitar piece. So I try to make sure I'm real careful about that. And I need my little knob remover to get this thing off here again. Gently. Just a little pull like that. And it's tied, of course. I've already tightened them. A little twist is how I do it. Nope, one more. Alright, that's got it. Off she comes. Okay, save that. Oh boy, here we go. Make sure you don't hit anything on the table. Oh, you little devil, you. Why are you giving me so much trouble? It's an all parts part. And it's set up properly. It's just not working right. Damnation. Okay, set that aside, put the new one in. It's nice and scored. I may take some alcohol and clean the back of it just one more time once it's in. Save me some grief. I think this time I'll bend over that little leg on the body of the pot, because it's not centering up the post any at all. It's not helping at all. All it is doing is keeping it from getting further into the guitar, which means I can't catch it as easy trying to put a nut on it. This little part here, this little nub here, just bend that over flat, and I just break it off. Off it goes. That way I can get this guitar's part in here deeper without it in the way, and catch more, a lot more screw, thread. And what have I got wrapped around this thing? I got something wrapped that shouldn't. What is it? That's a ground wire. Yep, that's a cross ground wire. I have to have that. Probably need to cut a new wire here. Cut a new one for this. That's a pot-to-pot ground. I'll cut a new one on that. So I got to wire it up both sides anyway and solder it up. And now, let's flip it over and see how much thread I got on this time. Not much still. Jeez, us. I don't know why he didn't buy long shaft pots for this guitar. Because that's just one turn only on this thing. Unless I really bear down on a wrench. I'll probably have to do that, keep it on there. Don't like doing it, but that's the only choice I got. Doggone it. Okay, let's follow the same example the other pot has. Let's bend that leg over. Just like its counterpart on the other side is. Bend it over, have it touch the other side's body, the own side's body. Like that. So that it can be grounded that way. And I'm going to have to tighten this thing up. That nut's going to fall right off. Is that thin on that thing? Alright, now that's going to stay. Okay, so this leg of the sorry guys. I'm just talking right now. I know you can't see this, but this leg of the cap goes there. Shit. That thing will switch him back to his own caps. I can use them again. 223s. Like this. Put that back in my box. What I tried was to put a better cap in there as far as tone was concerned. Get it more oomph on the bass side, but it didn't work. Because the darn little tone cap wasn't working. Sorry, the tone pot wasn't working. One of these days I'll get those right the first time. It is right now. I'm a little bit peeved. I want to get this thing over with, been on this all day long. That's just way too long to be doing this. And the only person at fault with this is nobody. That's the sad part. You can't blame anybody for this. The part went bad. Because I checked them on video, you know. I didn't just say, oh, just put them in there, they're probably good. I actually checked these, and when I was checking them, I had them on videotape. So I know for sure, and everybody else would know for sure, that it had been checked. Aha! And speaking of check, let's be 100% safe and check this one too. That would be a miss. That would be a mess. Alright, that's not touching that yet, so that's still good to find out. Alright, that's at 175. Let's just put this through its paces. Alright, there it is at 0. Let's walk it through to 500. right, there we go. That's a 496, so that's not bad. That'll work. All right, so that's at 496. We're going to take this little jewel here and put it right there in the middle and do the same with the other side. We're going to have to actually use this little tool to open that other side back up again for the second time. That's never fun to do, but it's got to be done. Alright, let that sit there for a while until it cools. Now we got a hole to put that leg of the cap inside of it. Just like that. I want to fit in there, darn it. There you go. And this one fits right inside that one. Okay. And that's the only thing that goes in there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, on that side, that's the only thing that goes in there. Just in the middle. Okay. So, I've soldered both those down now. Okay. Well, one thing's nice about this new soldering iron is it works real fast once it's hot. And it's got its job to do, and it does it. Yay! A little bit of touch. I can just get it on it. That's sealed. Okay, that's on there. Nice and tight. Okie dokie. So I've got 2 ground wires to replace. And let's see, that's still at 4. I think it is. If this is a 2, that's a 4. Yep, sure is. Let's put this one back where it was, the way you had it. Instead of trying to make it go bassy on him. Bassy bluesy. Because some people just don't want that much bass on their Les Paul, especially on the treble side. Come on now there, I know I didn't put you in that deep. Alright, that's got that one out. Next one's going to be a little bit tougher. It's got the lead wire in from the pickup. And once I get that out of there, I'll have to create a new hole again with that little pick I've got. A little metal pick do-I-diddy. Oh, come on, they're not in that deep. There you go. Alright, got that one out. Oh, baby. It's like pulling teeth out of this thing sometimes. Oh, it's all wrapped up in there, damn it. Pushed it down. Okay, now that one's out. Let's put the original back in there, but let's get that little tool first. This little jewel. To widen that hole around the lead on the pickup. So I can put the leg back of the cap back in there. Because it's sealed back up the minute I took the heat away. And so I've done this so many different times, it's kind of like second nature. And I know it will work. It's all that cool. Alright. And I'll put that leg in first, just to be sure. Oh, it's going to be stubborn, isn't it? Yep. I want this down in it, not just touching it. Damn it. Alright, let it cool. I'm up that hole. I'll get stuck in there. There you go. Okay, now in you go again. This time it should fit right inside that hole. Well, where is it? There it goes. Okay, now it's in the hole. And I open up the other side again with the same little tool. Another pot. Just hit it real quick. Should melt pretty quickly. Alright, now touch it. Okay, now I put some heat to it. Alright, now the little tool's in there. Let it cool. It's nice to have a soldering iron that works right the first time instead of one that's just half-assed working. I told y'all earlier, guys, I totally ruined my nice one. Somehow the lead for it, the iron part itself, kept falling out of the body of the handle. It's like, what the heck? So 40 bucks for a design flaw. Not good, not good at all. I feel like writing them nasty little letter telling them what I think about their tool, their soldering iron. This is a POS, buddies. This is a Magnum POS. Alright, I'm going to need to bend the end of this thing just slightly to catch that hole in the pot's leg. Like that. Ah, missed. Damn it. Come back here. Of course, my hands are so much bigger than the light is. I can't see what I'm doing. Get in there, damn it. Alright, now it's not in there, it's back out again. Great, just great. Well, what I'm gonna have to do is take it back out and bend it. Don't like doing that. Once you get it in there, you don't want to take it back out again. Alright, that's in one leg. Now for the other. That should have been plenty enough bend to get that in there. And it is. It's in there. Okay, now hit this with some solder. Nope, it's not in there. Damn it! Alright. Jesus. That's got that one. Let's catch the other one. Alright, that's got that one. Okie doke. Look at that wrist, off goes extra shit. That's in there nice and tight. Now for the ground wire to this one. Oh boy. It's gonna be a little flippy, isn't it? Yeah. And I need a cross ground wire too. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, let's hit that ground on that side too. That leg. Get the easy stuff done first. Ooh, this thing really eats up the solder. Alright. And capture that one ground wire. Same solder. Did. Okay, that got that one. Only thing left to do is run that one wire to the other, from one pot to the other, and we're set. Oh boy, 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 that was fun. Okay. This one's pretty well shot. I have to put a new one on there. I don't want to use a wire that's been hit by the soldering iron. It has a little burn in it. That's never good. So, more tools to grab. Okay, still can't find the other one. Grab this one. All the crap on it. Why not? Okay. Anyway, this is good wire I'm using on these things. That could sit there for now. Oh, gotta be. That's a little too much. Whew, you take it there. These are my old strippers. And there's no spring on them, so it's like twice as much work to do. Let's go ahead and twist these down. I want this finished. I'm sure he does too. Everybody's waiting to hear if this worked or not on the tone. So we've got a brand new tone pot in here. Let's see if we got everything done properly here. Okay, that's from there to there. This one goes from the volume to the tone on this one. Okay. That on there. And of course it's going to be stubborn. That's what's not fun about doing these ones inside the guitar itself. It is no fun at all. And you really can't do much, but just do your best. Alright, so I can capture that wire, ground it down. Easier said than done. At least I have enough light to look at. Come on, baby, catch it, catch it. Alright, that should have caught. It sucked it down. Now for this one. Like I said, I put extra wire on here where people get a little bit crazy, start twisting things before they think about it. Say, oh, that's loose. Next thing you know, they pull the wire loose. But with mine, at least you have a second chance to think about it, you know. Still come loose, you twist it enough, but like I said, get a chance to think about it before you do it too badly. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I should open it up and grab that pot and then tighten it up the right way. course, there is a way to do it on the outside. I've shown you all that before. Using a flathead screwdriver. All right, baby, come on, don't give me a hard time. This is the last one today. And it's the weekend. Well, that should have got it. It did. All right, that's set up. Well, next thing to do, guys, is to test the tone. See what tone came up with by putting a new pot on there. Make sure there's no hum left. Oh boy. Okay, we got 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. 3 grounds to the pots. All well connected. Everything else is very well connected. What we don't want is to have any superfluous wires touching one another to create a cross ground. By that I mean I just don't want the extra wire left on the pickup to touch anything else, which it's not doing. It's doing its job just perfectly. And that's a good solder. Okay, so once again, let's put this back on this thing. See if we can get it to behave itself for once. Okay. Extra parts out of the way real quick. Throw that away. We'll test the old tone pot and find out what's going on with it later on. Get a chance and time to do it. Now, put these other parts up. Out of here. Well, we're trying to get the end of this guitar here. I've been working on it forever, doing things to it, trying to get the tone of it the way the owner wants it to sound. We've changed pickups now on it. And it still doesn't sound like he wants it to sound. So we're going to try one last thing. We're going to try to change out the magnet that's in it. The one that may give it a little bit more mellow tones on the neck rather than real harsh, which is what it's doing right now. It sounds like more like it's playing the bridge. But, you know, all depends on the pickup. It does, you know, sound clean. It's a very clean sounding pickup. No distortions. Okay, now let's get the other loose out of the way. And good enough to wrap these plenty of times so I don't have to worry about loosening these strings up. And can you see what I'm doing? I'm over this pickup, yes, okay. Gonna loosen up all these strings, take this pickup out one more time. This is the third time this thing's been done. Well, this pickup and this hole's been taken out. The other ones are going to be sent back to the manufacturer. So you can try to figure out what's wrong with them. Well, maybe that's just the way it sounds. It could be that's the true voice of his pickups. I don't know. It's the first set I've heard of his pickups, but it does sound different, you know, like it should be on the neck. Sorry, it should be on the bridge sound rather than the neck. So that's kind of different. Let's get these out of the way, make this an easy job. I think I've got enough slack left on this. I didn't cut any of the wires on the pickups. They weren't that long to begin with, but I didn't cut anything from them. So let's get a nice right size Phillips, get that out of there and change it. What we're going to do is open up that pickup and see about sliding in this particular magnet. All right, keep this away from the camera. Blue side's north pole. Should get that going. Okay. Ah, boy, boy, oh boy. Looking for a Phillips, get that down. Right side, Phillips side. I have gone to these Stanleys, replaced all my drivers with those, and got rid of all the plastic handles. Once I've accumulated, I got rid of them, I put them away, stored them, so that I'm not grabbing a plastic handle driver around anything, these amps and such. I don't want, at least it's plastic on the handle, or sorry, rubber. Part of it is. It helps with the grip too. It's got a better, you know, ergonomic grip to them now. Stanley does. But boy, I tell you, I had a bunch of old plastic handle screwdrivers, and the worst thing was I just refused to get rid of them. You know, I'd used them so long, the darn tips had worn out on a bunch of them. They had lost their magnetic, you know, pull to them. They're so old. Which there's plenty of slack. So, alright, what we got to do is take off these 4 screws, get them off, and remove the paper tape around the windings, get those loose, and then I can pull that magnet out of there and get it put back in the right way. Get that tone to smooth out some. Let's see what we can do here. If he's over tighten these or not. Wow, they're tight. And they are small. But I'm getting them out. If you can see this or not, guys, my hands are probably in the way as usual. But I want to get this done. See, the guy can get his guitars back. Not take too long doing it. Well, not too tight, just got one that's too tight. That's the only problem we got. Get these off, get the back out, show you that. And go from there. It should be a pretty easy little task if I can get this done without desoldering this thing. Now for the problem one. There's always one that's a problem. There she comes. You can see I got my finger and hand underneath this pickup, so I don't do any damage to the finish of this guitar. I had to put a lot of pressure on it to get that plate screw out. Now let's take it off and out of the holder. So we can't lose a few springs here. Now I don't work on pickups. I don't fix them. I don't try to restore them. I do nothing with pickups but install them and test them and adjust them. So I know how they're made. I've made a few by hand that were terrible. And I gave up. The windings are so thin and so small. The copper is so expensive. I said, the heck with this. I mean, I can buy these cheaper than I can make one myself. This should come right out. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta take a flathead and loosen that up. And get my soldering iron involved. So, whoops, let's back it up. I gotta take a little bit of a soldering iron I've got and break that free. He said it shouldn't take much. It's just regular solder. It's not high temp solder. So that should help with the process tremendously. So we'll give that time to heat up. Then I'll show you. I'll take a very simple flathead screwdriver, put the tip to this, heat that up tremendously, and break it free so I can get that. To give you an idea of what I'm doing, guys, I've got the pickup sitting on a roll of paper towels for just to keep this thing safe from scratching or doing anything to it. But of course, it's plastic on plastic, so it won't do any harm. But just being real safe and careful with this guitar. And I'll take a chisel tip, screwdriver, chisel tip, and take my soldering iron in there and just work that solder loose on both sides and get that out of there. Okie dokie. Once it gets up to heat, I'll put the heat to it and spread that joint right there, the solder joint. Get that nasty little thing out of the way, and then I'll put it right back once I've finished switching this magnet out. That sound like fun? Anyway, the guy's turning to be a friend of mine, the guy who's making these things, as well as the guy who owns the guitars. I'm working on a lot of stuff for him. And I'm also doing a repair job on a Martin he's got that he's managed to, well, someone's managed to step through it. I think I've shown you that when I first came in. That was a heck of a deal. But I haven't heard from him since about repairing it yet. He's waiting to hear about, he's talking to his wife about the cost of repairing it because it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be expensive. There's like $200 just worth of wood that I've got to get, the sides and braces to replace on that thing that I don't have. And unfortunately, they only sell the sides and backs. They don't just sell just the sides to the guitars for you know, projects. They think you're trying to build one in total, not repair one. Because how often do you have to repair sides on a guitar? You know, replace them actually. Not too often. So usually buy the back and the sides together, and they won't sell just the sides. Damn them. So I'm really stuck with a nice mahogany or rosewood back. If anyone wants one, get in touch with me. It's going cheap. Alright, let's see if we've got enough heat on this thing as of yet. And I want really hot heat. I want to just do this once and get this thing over with. And by that, I'll probably use the side of this tip, not the actual tip, which actually is hotter, but I don't want to melt that plastic. Wow, it's just not melting worth a damn. There she goes. Now she's coming. Come on, baby. Get the hell off there. Now, of course, everything else is acting as a heat sink and not let me finish it. Great. Well, let's try to pry that loose now and see if I can actually get the thing done. Get it pop loose, baby. Pop loose. No, you're not going to do it, are you? Yes, you did. Yay. You hear that? Yay. Dave in Texas did it. He melted some high-grade solder with his little 60-watt iron, and it popped free of the case. Who gives a shit? Big deal. Now, I'm going to wait till that soldering iron gets back up to temperature again and go to this other side here. Get that darn little sucker finished. And there goes my wife coming in and out with groceries. Yum, yummy. She's a sweetie. Okay. And you're not high enough yet. Recovery time, recovery time. I had to use so much heat on that one, and this soldering iron is old and it's kind of out of my use right now because I had to fix the shaft on it, fell out. So what I ended up doing was putting a piece of metal down in the shaft of this thing to hold it together so the tip wouldn't just fall out on the projects. That's why I replaced it. And I thought, I don't, you know, use high temperature. There it goes. High temperature solder that much. I think a 40 watt, just simple one would do the trick. Come on, most of you's gone. Almost all that stuff's gone. Where are you popping out? Must be down in there, darn it. Alright, let's try and flick some of that out of there. Nope. It just melted right back where it was before. Whoop-de-doo. Oh man, it's really deep inside this dang thing. Wouldn't you know it? The one he really puts on there with a lot of solder is the one I gotta break free and get out of there. I think I'm just making it worse. Shit. can't do it with this in my hand. Come on, baby, pop free. Ah, there we go. They both are free now. Yay! So, I finally managed to get those free of the case. So I get this out of there now. All the screws are gone, the solder's done. Come on, guys. Don't tell me it went back again. Did it solder up again? No. No, that did. Why is it coming out of the case? Well, that's a good question. It am definitely free. Why the hell is it staying there? Well, it's got to be the damn glue. No, it's the wax is in there, David. It's just filled with wax. Okay, come on out there, baby. Okay, now what I got to do, guys, is gently take this tape off here without pulling any wires loose. Good luck to me. So that I can push that damn magnet out of the way. If I can see it. But first I gotta find out where this tape starts. Well, I did find the end. What do you know? Okay, I just gotta get this off enough so I can see the magnet. Then do a switcheroo. Not breaking anything in here. God, he used enough of it. And one little problem I got, somebody turn off the light. Great, hang in there, guys. Well, I got the stuff off as gently as I could. And next step is to very gently tap out that old magnet. Dang, I don't like doing this. The things I get into trying to help people out is amazing. Alright. So it should slide right out, and this looks like it's going to do. It's going to slide right out. Make sure there's nothing in its way. Nothing's attached to it that I can see. So I'm going to pick it up. Get the old heave-ho to as far as I can. And take a pair of needle nose and get out the rest. Well, guys, here's what it looks like when you're operating on a pickup. Got paraffin all over the place, which is not hurt his guitar, and no scratches, none of that. We're being very gentle and very careful with it. I'm scratching my fingers up. That's not my hands, but I'm not doing any damage to the guitar, that's for sure. And this is so much above the Call of Duty, but I'm that kind of guy. Plus, this is making a good video, I think. Wow, I hope this one going back in is not as hard as the one taken out. It should slide easier as it comes, but it's not. It's going to be tough going all the way in and out because of that wax. He says he uses a lot of it. Alright, well, that's out. Okay, all we got to do is match up the magnets. This side goes in there. Make sure I put the right one in the right way. And they should repel each other if I have them going the right way. So if the north is this one, if that's the north, if I put this magnet to it, it'll repel it. No. So that's the north. So this goes in just like I have it, right like this. Goes right back in the way it came out. Just like that. Simple enough if I can push it through. And it's going in so much easier, thank God. Alright, let's clean up some of that mess that I left. And what I'll do is take off any excess paraffin that's fallen off due to pushing it. through. Make sure it's off the guitar too. Do complete cleanup. But now I've got the thing back together again. It's time to rewrap it with some old wrap. Jesus. And I'm just fresh out of paraffin. So the thing I'm going to do is wrap it with the old wrap. And then what I'm going to do is put some electrical tape around the edge of it, you know, around once around, to keep it in place. I don't think I'll try to heat up the wax after all. I think that's a bad idea. But I am going to put the wax side towards the pickup, that's for sure. And keep it as straight as I can. Wow. This is why I don't build pickups. I just don't have the temperament for it. But so far it's going pretty good. The wax is making it stick like it should. I'm thinking maybe a little bit. Nah, no heat. Just my luck is snap on those darn little wires in there, those tiny fuckers. And I got my tape wrapped. Undo that, get it back to flush, and make sure I get it tight as well in there. And there she is, right back where she started. Yes. So far so good, guys. I'll pressure this all the way around with my fingers. That thing will leave it just like that. Nothing else is going to go on there. Just pressure that wax together like that. And then put it back into its container. What do you think? And oh boy, oh joy, yes, I have done it. I have managed to get a nice little tiny sliver of metal in my finger, and it's starting to really hurt. Damn it! Where the hell did that come from? Just I want to say some nasty words, real nasty ones, real nasty ones. Son of a gun. Alright, back the case you go, you little, you know whatsy. And I'll get those screws back in there. Then I'll hit it with a little bit of my own solder. I can see it sticking out, damn it. I just don't have the right kind of tweezers to get the damn thing out of my finger. What I'm afraid I'm going to do is just jam it in there further. Shit! You know, it's not so much that it's there, it's just it's nagging, you know? Every time I touch something, I'm jamming it further in there. It's going to really bug me. I'm putting the wrong screws in, it's bugging me so much. Well, guys, I gave up on that old soldering iron. Which is not that old, it's only about 3-4 months old. Anyway, I've gone to this one. It's a Weller. It's 40, watts, and it should heat up pretty fast compared to the other one I was trying to use. And it's burning through tips like crazy, I tend them. Because I use these like crazy. I get in a hurry and go, come on, melt, melt, melt. What's nice about it is, let me see this or not, it's got built-in lights. So when you're working in the cavity, these lights shine in there for you. Isn't that cool? There goes the UPS guy, nothing for me today. Son of a gun. But just about 2-3 minutes, it should heat up nicely. It's been working so far. I just bought it a week ago. And I'll get in there and melt this case shut and then close this little puppy up and play it, and it'll work like a dream. Well, knock the camera over first, but anyway, get the last 4 screws in here. Alrighty. Those strings back in place. Like I said, I'll have to adjust everything once I get it all up and going. Also make sure I didn't pull anything loose while I was working it. I don't think I did. But I'll find out by checking the back, make sure the wires came loose while I was pulling on it. I just didn't pull that much on it. Matter of fact. Back in place. Make sure these go under. That's tight enough. Under the tuner involved. Wow, this thing is really got some string on it. There we go. Next one. Okay guys, we're here with David and his Les Paul. We finally get this thing set up for him with those brand new handmade custom wound pickups. What do you think, Dave? I mean, pretty nice?
I think it's great. I think it's great. Got all the issues that I had fixed and had no complaints.
Cool, cool. Okay, let's hear it sound. Let's give the voice.
Sounds pretty good.
Good. Let's hear the back pickup. Okay, let's hear the voice of that back pickup. Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay, well listen guys, any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye.